Imagine standing on the edge of a dark, yawning pit. 300 feet below, 64 lives hang by a thread. Water is rising, air is thinning, and the clock? Oh, it's not ticking, it's screaming. This isn't a Hollywood thriller, this is real. And the hero? A mild-mannered engineer with a turban, a plan, and more courage than a Marvel superhero. Jaswant Singh Gill. November 13, 1989. Raniganj, West Bengal, India. The Mahabir Colliery. A catastrophic flood gushes into the coal mine, faster than your morning coffee spilling all over your laptop. 64 miners are trapped underground. Desperation claws at the families gathered above. And let's face it, the authorities are clueless, like when you try to assemble IKEA furniture without instructions. Every second counts. The water's rising, the miners are praying, and somewhere in the chaos, a bespectacled engineer from IIT Dhanbad, Jaswant Singh Gill, steps up and says, "Hold my engineering degree." Gill wasn't some action hero with a cape. He had a helmet, a beard, and a determination so fierce it could split granite. The mining officials, they were still in panic mode. Gill, already sketching a plan on the back of a soggy cigarette pack, or so the legend goes. His idea? Lower a steel capsule, a coffin-shaped elevator, down a flooded, unstable mine shaft to haul the miners up one at a time. Insane? Yes. Impossible? According to everyone else. But Gill had the kind of optimism usually reserved for people starting New Year's resolutions. They called it Mission Raniganj. The capsule, specially designed by Gill, looked like something your uncle would call a contraption. It was claustrophobic, cramped, and terrifying, but it was their only shot. And because the world didn't have drones or FaceTime yet, every step was a leap of faith. The miners, freezing, starving, and gasping for air. Some thought they'd never see their families again. Meanwhile, Gill oversaw welding, modifying, and testing the capsule like a mad scientist, but with more self-deprecating Punjabi humor. At 2 a.m., under flickering floodlights, the capsule was ready. Gill insisted on being the first person lowered, because if it failed, he wanted it to be his mistake. That's the kind of boss you want, but never get. As the capsule rattled down the shaft, darkness swallowed Gill. The air smelled of coal dust, sweat, and death. Gill said later, "I wasn't scared." Sure, and I'm not scared of spiders either. Lies. Gill reached the miners. The sight? Exhausted, shivering men, eyes wide with hopelessness. But seeing Gill was like seeing an angel, or at least the best thing you can see in a flooded coal mine. Gill yelled, "Sub teek ho jayega, everything will be fine." A phrase every Indian has heard from a plumber who's definitely making things worse. But this time, he meant it. One by one, miners crawled into the capsule. Each ascent took an eternity. Families above held their breath every time the capsule emerged, like unwrapping the world's most suspenseful Christmas gift. Gill orchestrated the operation with military precision, but it wasn't all stoic heroism. Gill reportedly cracked jokes to keep the miners calm, because nothing eases life-or-death tension like a dad joke at 300 feet underground. Through the night, Gill didn't rest, didn't eat, didn't even sip chai, which in India is practically a crime. His team pulled miner after miner to safety. Each time the crowd roared louder than a cricket stadium. As dawn broke, 64 miners had been rescued, 64 families reunited, 64 lives saved, and at the heart of it all, an engineer who refused to let fear drown hope. Here's the part they don't teach in textbooks. Gill had to argue with bureaucrats who said it was too risky. Imagine your house is on fire, and someone tells the firefighter, "Let's form a committee first." Gill bulldozed the red tape with sheer audacity. He turned an idea everyone dismissed as crazy into the greatest coal mine rescue India had ever seen. And no offense to Batman, but Gill didn't need a Batmobile. He had a capsule, a rope, and a can-do attitude. After the last miner was safe, Gill stepped out of the capsule looking like a soot-covered legend. The crowd lifted him on their shoulders. Reporters swarmed him. And somewhere in that chaos, he probably thought, hope they don't ask me to rescue my own boss next. Gill was honored with the Sarvatam Jeevan Raksha Padak, India's highest civilian bravery award. But for him, The real reward was seeing those miners hug their kids again. So, what did we learn? That heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear hard hats and carry blueprints. That if you think your Monday morning is hard, try coordinating a rescue 300 feet underground with water rising faster than your email inbox. And that in the end, courage is a quiet, determined engineer named Jaswant Singh Gill who looked death in the face and lowered himself into the darkness anyway. Stay curious, stay brave, and remember, the next time someone says your idea is crazy, you might just be the hero they didn't know they needed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories of raw human courage.